How the Metaverse Will Change Our Lives. Facebook, Microsoft, Epic Games. All of these companies have bet big on one unique concept: the Metaverse. A virtual world that we can live in with the help of VR. A world where we can live, socialize, find love, and do so much more. The possibilities of this alternate virtual universe are almost endless. And while it's not really out yet, it's already changing the world as we speak. Here's how the Metaverse will change our lives. So, what really is the Metaverse? It's an entirely digital universe that's designed to be similar to the world we live in right now. You'll be able to live in this world by wearing a VR headset and going wherever you want. Virtual parks, tourist attractions, houses, mansions, clubs, restaurants. The Metaverse will have it all. But this isn't just a place you can visit from time to time. This is a place you can own. The Metaverse tries to incorporate elements of cryptocurrency, specifically NFTs, into its design. If you want a house in the Metaverse, you'll have to buy it or rent it. All the transactions will be done through cryptocurrency, which can be traded for real-life currency as well. And all of the commodities will be their own NFTs. Before we continue, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to never miss one of our awesome videos. When this supposed Metaverse will be launched, it'll just be one giant empty wasteland. But that's where the money will be. People will be able to buy out all of these empty plots of land, and they'll be able to do whatever they want with them. Since there will be a limited number of plots available, the prices will eventually skyrocket through the roof, since people will be able to purchase them no matter where they are in the world. Consider the Metaverse what Manhattan was before it became one of the coolest places on Earth. Now, people could just keep these plots and do nothing with them, and they'd still increase in value. However, they'll also have the ability to build something on top of it. For example, you could build an entire mansion using NFT materials, and your plot of land will now be worth something way more than it initially was. Not only that, but people will be able to live in that house through VR, as we've already mentioned. If you wanted to, you could also generate revenue from your plot. Instead of building a mansion, you could build a club or a stadium that holds all kinds of paid events. Concerts in the Metaverse are an actual thing, and people pay actual money to go see them. If you build something appropriate to hold these concerts, you'd be able to charge people for a ticket, or you'd be able to charge artists who want to perform there. Investors already see the opportunities that the Metaverse provides them with. They've started to scoop up plots of virtual land in all sorts of different NFT games, including The Sandbox, which is one of the most popular Metaverse games out there. In December of 2021, an investor purchased a plot of land in The Sandbox for a whopping $4.3 million. That number may sound absolutely insane to you right now, but just wait until the Metaverse becomes more popular, and some of these numbers might start to sound normal to you. It doesn't just stop at Sandbox. There's also an open-source 3D virtual world platform called Decentraland, which is also extremely popular. Decentraland is considered by many to be one of the first big platforms that can truly be called a metaverse. A week before the record-breaking Sandbox sale, a plot of land in Decentraland's fashion district was sold for a whopping $2.43 million. This is more expensive than mansions in expensive cities like San Francisco and New York City. The size of the plot that was sold is equivalent to around 6,090 square feet of land in real life, which still makes it pretty outrageous. But the sale in Decentraland shows us one thing. The Metaverse will also have wildly different land prices in trendy areas compared to non-trendy areas. Just like land prices are more expensive on the Upper East Side when compared to, say, Queens, there will be hotspots for investors in the Metaverse as well. What we're trying to say is, the Metaverse will try to emulate the real world as much as it can, and it'll eventually reach uncanny levels. But aside from the whole investment aspect of the Metaverse that we've gone on and on about, let's now talk about the social aspect of the Metaverse. This is the part where many people actually start to get scared about the Metaverse. There's a reason why the largest social network on Earth, Facebook, now called Meta, decided to invest so heavily into it. It's because Mark Zuckerberg believes that this is the future of our world. Instead of meeting people and hanging out with them in real life, people will start to hang out with each other virtually in the Metaverse, where you'll be wearing a VR headset the entire time, and you would feel as if your friends are right in front of you when they talk. This is far more immersive than anything like video conferencing, but people have doubts about how many people will actually want to use this. However, you should also consider another thing. How many of you who were alive in the 80s thought that our primary way of communication would be through texting or through the internet? Even in the 90s and the early 2000s, the internet wasn't really meant to replace our social lives. Until it did. There are already so many people who can be total social butterflies without even leaving their rooms. With the Metaverse, they'd be doing pretty much the same thing, but they would have a far more immersive experience than ever before. While that may sound like a solution of sorts, the concerns keep growing. People are worried that the Metaverse is only going to make the problem worse. Right now, people have a reason to leave their homes. You can't fulfill your social needs by just texting. Sometimes you have to meet people in real life. But what if people can do that in the Metaverse? On top of that, if people could just work within the Metaverse, will they ever leave the house? What if they have to work a full-time job in the Metaverse? How long are people even expected to keep a VR headset on their heads? It all just boils down to the fact that people aren't really ready for a virtual reality world just yet. It's pretty scary to think about everything just being on a VR headset instead of real life. But at the same time, you have to consider that a lot of people live super boring and unfulfilling lives, and the Metaverse may be their opportunity to escape that world and enjoy their lives more. But those were only the social criticisms that the Metaverse has. There are all sorts of technical criticisms that this concept has also received. First of all, these games simply do not look real. People look like cartoon avatars, and there's no way that can ever replace the feeling of being in front of someone in real life. Of course, that's bound to change as more money is poured into these games, but the criticism remains. There are so many bugs within these games that completely kill the immersive experience, if you can call it immersive in the first place. There's also another huge problem. The Metaverse doesn't even exist yet. Sure, there are games like The Sandbox and virtual worlds like Decentraland that claim to be a part of the Metaverse, but so far, they don't offer nearly as much as the Metaverse is hyped up to bring to the table. Games like Club Penguin have also existed in the past. Would it be fair to call Club Penguin a Metaverse? The fact of the matter is, until there actually is a true Metaverse, most people won't take it seriously. And even if it is launched, there's no telling whether it'll be a success or just a massive flop. So, will we be seeing a Metaverse anytime soon? Probably. It's pretty hard to ignore the billions of dollars that the likes of Meta and Microsoft will be pouring into their respective versions of the Metaverse. On top of that, they already have all the social media expertise in the world, and they might just create something that truly has mass appeal, a lot of functionality, and something that can truly change our lives. Because that's the thing. If the Metaverse flops, most of us would be unaffected by it. But if it's a success, all of us would feel the effects of it. There may come a time when it's impossible to function in life without being on the Metaverse. Just like how it's impossible to function in the world right now without the internet. Now, we're not saying that the Metaverse is as revolutionary as the internet, but there was also a time when people would dismiss the internet by saying it's just another fad. And look how that turned out. Whatever the case is, this is not the last you hear of the Metaverse, and it'll be interesting to see where things go from here. And that's a wrap for how the Metaverse will change our lives. Do you think the Metaverse will truly be impactful? Or will it just be another fad? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.